Uh, all right, man. We are live late night in full effect for another episode of the APF podcast, episode 172. It is I, the most phenomenal man that shocked the system, aka the coach.
It's your boy going for it. Hope you guys are ready for the weekend. I'm sorry, ready for the week. The first
Shit,
round is now
the
fully
weekend
over.
over.
Well, hey, look here. The weekend is over. Time to get ready for the week. The first round, the first round's over. Obviously, we had a second round game today, but we're here to break down all the rounds we saw, all the first round, series, and preview some of the second round series. Though there was one today that happened, so let's get right into that.
Yes, Golden State nearly got skin off the cat in that Game Seven dub.
Game seven where we won by 20 points. We ain't get no by no damn skin. We blew their
Y'all got,
doors
y'all
off.
got like, y'all motherfuckers got lucky.
We
Let me just say that.
when you have Stephen Wardell Curry, you don't need luck. But look here,
More,
they may
more,
have 50 points, man. They may have 50 points. Okay, they turned the Golden State Warriors with Russell Looney over there getting all them rebounds. I mean, he was the guy. I mean, he was killing Sabonis. Sabonis just don't know what to do with Kevon Russell Looney. Okay, he just getting every rebound. Even though Klay Thompson was horrible today, what's his face? Jordan Jiggable Pool is always horrible, and Andrew Wiggins was a good defender. We were able to stop De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. Those guys got the water turned off in the third quarter. They were unable to make shots. They kept fouling us. The only reason the game was close during the third was that we kept missing free throws. But they fouled a lot. They turned the ball over. They looked like they're a little bit flustered because they weren't able to make shots. That was an interesting game. And then Steph Curry decided to turn on chef mode. Start cooking, taking crazy threes, dribbling like a god, having that layup package on fleek, doing what Steph Curry does. You know, and it was such a great game for everybody, for the team. Steph had no help because of the team's inability to shoot, and he was able to do it. And that's why De'Aaron Fox just got a taste of what being a top 5, 6 player in the league is. I can put my team on my back, give us 50, we played defense well enough, and we can win. And he has learned a valuable lesson today and what level he needs to be. Um, for Sacramento myself, I think right now Demonis Sabonis needs to learn how to shoot the ball more because I'm just going to say this: teams are now going to do what Golden State did. It worked. I mean, yeah, he has 16 points, most of them in the first half. Second half, he got turned off. He didn't shoot at all. He went right back to doing what he was doing. And I'm just saying that is not good for their team. You need your center to shoot. Like if you're going to be that off, you got to shoot. Like if I'm him, time for him to go practice shooting mid-range shots because teams are going to play him like they played him. De'Aaron Fox today was not very good. He did not shoot the ball well. Golden State, I guess maybe the finger had an effect. They did do a better job of keeping him out of the lane uh, than they have throughout the series, which I was very impressed with. I like the change of playing Moody there because he's a good 3 point shooter and defender. Malik Monk wasn't excellent as well. Did make a lot of threes. Um, I will say to take away Davion Mitchell, I think was a mistake for the Sacramento Kings because he was doing a really good job on Curry. But to like completely eliminate him from the actual like rotation was a little bit mind-boggling. But they thought Terrence Davis, I guess, would do something. He only made three threes, and that was it. And he really didn't even play that good of a defense on Steph personally. But that's what they went with. You know, for Golden State, obviously Clay will shoot better, Wiggins will play better, but Jordan Poole has to be a lot more assertive in the way he plays the game.
I feel that Jordan Poole especially that last game before Game 7. The man was just literally like he just looked like he never touched the basketball and just complete out of it.
Yeah, I mean, he always to me gets real out of control with the ball. I don't know why he thinks there's two kings right by you on the fast break, but you think you can just like get blow past them and get the layup. Like he did that. He does that way too often. I thought today though in the game when he played for his minutes, he did make a couple of threes. He didn't get to the line. I think he played a much more mature game. I think he knows. Look, they didn't have it. Now I do expect him to play better against the Lakers. I think the Lakers personally have don't have the defenders. I mean, they have Jared Vanderbilt, but they have like Russell. I mean, Schroeder's good. Obviously, Austin Reeves is average. So I expect him to play better. But in this, this was
Yeah, okay,
this is
buddy.
the
Average is crazy.
Austin Reeves is an average defender, maybe below average. Let's be honest, okay?
I'm not saying he's elite, but don't disrespect. Don't
I'm not
disrespect him.
disrespecting. I'm being honest. He's an average defender. I mean, he's not. This man is not as Caruso, who is, I believe, one of the two, three best perimeter defenders in the league. That's not what he is. He's a decent to good offensive player where he's able to he has all the moves an offense player should have in their repertoire to work in the NBA. He can snake dribble, he can get you behind his back, he knows how to put you in jail, stuff like that. I'm just saying Jordan Poole should have a better time against the Lakers. But yeah, that's it for me in this series. I think Golden State showcased why they're the better team. They were always a better team. Let's just be honest. But I will say this: luckily for the Warriors, in the next series, they won't have to deal with a hyper athletic point guard that can get to the rim whenever he wanted to. Because for the first 6 games, they were unable to stop him to getting to the rim, and they were able to do that today, and that also hurt their offense. Sabonis continuing to like never ever shoot the ball. Like you have complained literally for two
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
He would
he
not shoot the
just
ball.
for some reason likes to dribble handoff more than actually get a bucket because you do need to
Yeah,
get a bucket to win.
yeah. You need to be able to do more than dribble handoffs. Like their offense would be better. Their offense was actually better when he wasn't on the court. Personally, for me, I know that he scored 16 points. I'm just saying, they were much better offense than that. Like Draymond Green shot sometimes or attack sometimes because that's what you need to do if they're gonna play off you. So yeah, that's good. That's it for me from this series. How about yourself? And what did you think of this series as we finish
Mm,
recapping?
what I thought of the series was I did say before the series started, I expected to Sacramento to not play the way they did, and I expected a 4-0, and it was a 4-3. So I got proved. So Sacramento proved that they can actually play, and they gave Golden State a little bit of a scare. But this all comes down to experience. Golden State has the experience. They have the pedigree. They're a championship team, obviously. Sacramento, they're not a championship team. They star players switch up, and also star players do not are not they're inconsistent, meaning that they had a star big man, he's gone. They have another good big man, he's still there. He actually got traded to that team, and they have the same point guard they drafted. So for me, I think that Sacramento can go further. They just need more veteran experience because they're a young team facing facing the toughest challenge they've ever faced, and they actually did pretty well for the team that they had. I did not think they was going to win the game. I'm not going to lie, because Sacramento has proved to me over the past couple, like 10, really ever since they couldn't make the playoffs, they proved that they cannot get it done when it really mattered. So now that they have actually shown that they can make it further. I believe that next year that if they had like somebody like the Clippers, they'd probably be in the second round because Clippers are easy punching bag team. I mean, that team has only like two good people, and as people you could say a washed up star MVP. So, for, so I think for really my conclusion is I feel that if Sacramento had a different team, they would probably be in the second round right now. But Golden State did what they did, and they played their heart out, and they just stuck with it.
Yeah, you know, Sacramento. The main thing they need, I think they should keep their team. I think their offense needs to be better. Less dribble handoffs, more Sabonis attacking. I think he needs to improve his offensive game if teams are going to play that well off. I think I think Aaron Fox is fine. I think Malik Monk is fine, but I do think they need a better three. I don't think Harrison Barnes is good enough. Harrison Barnes in 3 Game 7s has shot under 30%, so he is not reliable in the clutches of moments, as we know as a Warriors fan since 14, 15. We've seen
Oh
Harrison
God,
Barnes.
here we go.
I mean, I'm telling the truth. I've been a fan of Curry longer than being a fan of their team.
Oh
It's just the
man,
truth. Um, but just can't help yourself. A guy who
no,
didn't
yeah.
watch the Lakers when they were actually winning championships, and didn't even really watch them until maybe the late 2000s. But I have to hear you again. Like, just keep it to yourself, man. Ain't nobody got time for you.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
okay. You out here. I actually remember watching Curry. You think you watched Kobe Bryant 2006. Who knows? You actually did. I mean, they were on the ABC. But I'll get off my tangent about all that. Uh, Sacramento's going to be fine. They're going to be a big dog. But there's one other team we're going to talk about. Up in Memphis, man, they lost in 6 games. Got blown out by 40. Jesus,
Now,
40
ain't
points.
nobody saying nothing now.
Now, this is probably my biggest rant. I'm going to say it so everybody knows. Dylan Brooks is a fake. He's a coward. He's a loser of a basketball player. He doesn't have any basketball respect. He disrespects players or says disrespectful things to be talked about. When he gets bitch slapped and can't deal with talking to the media, got fined $25,000 for not talking to the media because he's a baby. He doesn't actually have any stones. That's why I never thought he was really that tough. I mean, this is the same dumbass who last year said they a dynasty when they lost in they literally lost in the second round in 6 games. Got blown out too. Remember that game? They got blown out again. Don't forget that's what happened last year's game 6.
Oh yeah,
Like
they got the ass beat.
they got the beaten. Like this year, you're a clown. Klay Thompson, who doesn't clown anybody, clowned you, bruh. He clowns you in the regular season. Christmas clowning you, laughing at you after he buried the three. Like you are a horrible basketball player because you have no offense and your defense is great. I give you that, but offensively, dude, you said. Oh, I remember after game 5, he said, "I'm gonna go off." Did he go off in game 6? No, I think he scored another like 10, 12 points on 40 something percent shooting. That's why your team was going to get OG and Anobi at the trade deadline. Couldn't get him. They were even trying to give picks because you're bad. You're not a good basketball player. You don't work for their team. Like, bruh, they sagged off. You're a shooting guard. Do you not understand what a shooting guard is? A shooting guard is supposed to be able to shoot the ball. What is he? He says he's Draymond Green. He's a worse version. He can't.
He can't.
He's a worse
I know
shooter.
he's trying to replicate Draymond Green, but you can't replicate what's already been perfected.
Draymond Green doesn't have to start talking about how everybody old and they got to score 40 on me. Like this dude doesn't. This dude just kept talking a big game. He would cash checks that he's not skilled enough to cash. What a surprise! So he lost. What he said, "I'm out." I guess LeBron broke him. I guess LeBron and them broke him because this man didn't want to talk nothing because he can't handle the fire. He's fake. Okay, he's not a real person. He's just a dude who thinks he's good and talks saying crazy things so that people can then talk to him because he knows he won't be able to be a good enough overall basketball player for people to talk to him. Did LeBron have to do any of that? No. Did Steph Curry do any of that? No. Did Draymond Green really have to do what he did? No, Draymond didn't, not really. Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Jason Tatum, you know, Jalen Brown, Jimmy Butler. Like, no, man, only you talk like this because you know you can't do anything. But that's it for me on Dylan Brooks. As a team, Memphis, John Morant, you need to shoot the ball more. Stop falling to the floor. You're not Dwayne Wade, bro. Dwayne Wade survived about 8 to 10 years of doing that. Then his body broke down. We'll see how long you'll survive crashing the floor at like 180 pounds, soaking wet. I know they talked about how he learned how to fall. I'm just saying I would learn how to shoot a jump shot. Where's your floater? He used to have a floater alert. He doesn't even do
Oh yeah,
floaters
his
anymore.
floater alert was something else, but
Yeah, against Golden State, he used to do floaters all the time. I'm like, what happened to your floater? Because I don't ever see him do anything like that. Desmond Bain is one of the John Murray, Desmond Bain, and Jared Jackson Jr. are the nucleus. Like Desmond Bain is a very good player, very good shooting guard. He can dribble, he can get to the rim, he can shoot the three. Like he's a good complement to John Murray. And Jared Jackson Jr. obviously defensive player of the year, very good. He can shoot the three. He can put on the rim. He can put on the floor a little bit, but he's prone to like throwing an elbow in your face and getting a foul. So I guess shouldn't be too surprised about all that. Brandon Clark did not play this year. He was injured. He's another really good bench
oh yeah,
player.
I forgot he existed.
And I'm not going to say that these guys who have made that big of a difference in the series. Who that's disrespectful to how good the Lakers actually played throughout the series, especially LeBron, Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder. I think those guys were the three most consistent players. Um, who else is Xavier Tillman? I mean, he's what he is. Um, Steven Adams would have helped just because he's such a big presence and getting rebounds and all that stuff. But for the most part, what they really do need to do is they need to get rid of Dylan Brooks, which he's a free agent. They need to get a new shooting guard, or at least small forward who can
I wouldn't even
actually.
call him a guard. He don't even know how to guard.
I mean, Dylan Brooks knows how to guard. I will give him credit. He does guard well, though. You got to give him it. He does guard well. He's a big guy. He's built, so he uses his body. He knows how to guard. I'll give him that. My only question is, as you cannot be a player on the NBA court and can't shoot. Like he literally can't shoot.
Bro,
He's like
his jump is ugly, broken.
I think there was a thread I saw where he shot like under 42% in every game of the series. He literally scored less than 15 points. If there was a prop for how many points per game he scored, and then you said if you have taken under 15, you would have won because he literally scored less than 15 every game. Like you're a professional basketball player. How bad can you be? Damn, you ain't no center. Like if you're a center, you can't shoot outside. Fine, I mean that's okay. But it is what it is. Um, Lakers, LeBron, excellent series. Austin Reeves, very good series. D'Angelo Russell, here and there, had a big game 4. I'm sorry to keep them in there. Then game 6, he played well. I think he scored. Did he score like 31 points in game 6?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
scored.
I think he like dominated them in Game 6. So he played very well in Game 6. Also, Anthony Davis, he had two really awesome games, two sorry ass games. Um, he's gonna have to be a lot more impressive against
He
Golden
scored like
State.
23
Who?
twice.
D'Angelo Russell.
No, Austin Reeves. He scored 23 twice.
I thought he played well. Yeah, I mean Anthony Davis. I mean, look, I will give him this. He averaged probably like 12,
Oh,
13.
can you plug your mic in and out?
Huh?
You plug your mic in and out. It's
Oh,
staticky.
let me see.
Oh man. We will resume when he shows up out there fixing his mic.
Not? Oh,
Oh wait. Oh there we. Okay, there we go.
Lord.
Yeah, that's good. We good now.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis. I think he was 16-14. That was but that game really does. I mean, they blew them out. But I mean, he had two bad games, two really good games. He's got the 14 rebounds is good though because he's going to be going up against Kevon Russell Looney. We all know he gets bounds like a crazy man. So we'll see. Um, you know, this was a failure for Memphis. I mean, they're the number 2 seed. They thought, hey, finals appearance. It depends. I don't know. You know, but if I'm the Lakers, it depends on what was the expectation. Was it a championship? Was it a conference finals? I don't know. Whatever it is, I will say I thought it's a successful season for them because the way they're going, they're going to be not even in the play-in. So I will say they had a successful season. Now, other people may not say that. They'll say it's a failure if you don't reach the finals. But let's be honest, nobody thought this was a finals team. Um, but hey, they're 4 games away from the conference finals, and so we'll see. But yeah, that's it for me.
Hmm. I thought this was also a good series, and I also thought that it's like I always said, AD showed up and he didn't show up. And LeBron showed up and he just stayed showing up. So, but I did like Anthony Davis on the defensive end. He was a menace. I mean, blocking the most important shots and just being there in general because him on the court plus the plus minus ratio from him on the court and off the court is insane when he's on the court. But when he's off the court, defense goes down because you don't have another good big man to replace him for those minutes that he's getting rest. So that's a good thing. And D'Angelo Russell is like turning around now because before he was just he was not doing his job, not doing what he's supposed to be doing now. And now look at him. When the brightest of lights are on him, he shows up and steps up, and he's also a low key good addition to the team because people be sleeping on him. So now hope everybody notices that the Lakers have a low key another low key championship team because I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how the hell we won the 2021, but I think that team and this team are like similar because that team has shooters and that team had but the thing is that team had like big men though. They had Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. They had Caldwell Pope and like Taylor Horton Tucker and I think and then they had Rondo. You had like that team was full with like former stars. This team does not have that, and they still won in six against a trash talking Golden State wannabe young team like the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies do not get no respect from me. I say no good things about them because they talked that talk and they couldn't walk that walk. So now they're gonna walk the ass back to Cabo and have a good ass time and talk about how they stopped LeBron from scoring 40 points. So
Yeah, man. They packed them fuck boys up, sent them at
they
home to Memphis.
they can go take their ass back to Cabo. Fuck out of here.
Yo, fuck Dylan Brooks. That's all I gotta say. Fuck that dude. He's one of he annoys me. He's the epitome of everything I dislike. A guy who doesn't have the game but talks like he knows something. He's
He
all but
just
he's all bark
dude,
no
he
bite.
literally acts like he's him. He's not him. Who are you? Wait,
Like
you is nobody, bro.
like exactly what have you done for you to think that you should no you should be respected. Why do people talk to? I don't even like they talk to because you say stupid ass shit and they know you do, and they know you can't help yourself. But he sure did help himself the last couple weeks. He was talking all that shit, got beat down twice, said I'm out, got beat down by Fody after saying some stupid shit like I'm gonna go off, and he don't want to talk to nobody. LeBron, LeBron did the right thing. I ain't gonna shake none of you hands, bruh. Number one, Desmond Bain, his stupid ass been talking whole series too. He was trying to go at Rui Hachimura. Oh, is that you gonna do that again? He did it a couple more times. He was trying to talk bad about the team. We're gonna win Game 6. Oh, really? Really? I wonder what happened in Game 6. Why did you guys fall down so quick? Oh, that's right, because you're not a very good basketball team. You don't have enough shooters. Let's be honest. Desmond Bain is the only guy on your team who can actually shoot the ball. Okay, the only one. Jaren Jackson Jr. I know he can make threes, but that shot he shoots like a
Oh,
baby, and that is sorry.
oh no! I don't even want to get into his shot. Hell no! I like Triple J off the court, but on the court with him shooting, oh my! It looked like it hurt.
It
That
really
shot looked like it
does.
hurt.
It really does. Like, and number two, you've got to be. They need like Luke Kennard would have been pretty good for their team yet against in that game just
Bro,
because he
where
can
the hell
space.
was he? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He had he had his shoulder kind of got messed up, so he couldn't play.
Bro, he would have been somewhat of a difference maker with those threes.
Yeah, because he can space the floor. Like the what's his face? The coach said like if Tyus Jones and Luke Kennard want to play, they gotta play defense. The coach know. Taylor Jenkins, hey, Dylan Brooks is not working on this series. Like he's getting exposed, and that's why you were seeing them really trying to play Luke Kennard in that fifth game, which is why they were doing so well because John Murray getting to the paint. I'm sorry, is able to get those open shooters for three. You put Bain, Kennard, and Jackson. I mean, it just opens the court. That's why the Kings, going back to Kings in game 6, they put Trey Lyles, so they can have spacing. These are things that matter in sports. In basketball, I'm sorry. In basketball, spacing is king, and they don't have great spacing. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's it, man. It was a good series. Dylan Brooks got exposed. People know that he's a coward. I'll say it if I was on TV. I would say it again. If I saw him, I'd say he call me a
Oh
coward,
no,
call me a coward to his face.
I would go at him with the most disrespectful way possible, bro.
Like, yeah, I'll call you a coward. Cowards do what you do. Why don't you come out here? Why are you not talking to the media? You are sure talking when you're winning. You're you are every. Why should you be a role model? What role model? When you lose, oh, go and pout. Like that dude irked me when he didn't talk to the media. Like Draymond Green talks all the time, and when you lose, did he not go to? He goes to media and talks. He now do something. He may go to do his podcast, but he still went and go talk to the media. He talked to the media after he got suspended before Game 4. He doesn't run away. He didn't go. Did he stop talking to media after first two games they lost? No, he went and talked to them because that's what you do. He wants that spotlight. He's mad that people say he's a villain. You made yourself a villain. What do you like?
The moment you asked for the smoke, you made yourself the villain.
Like, you went after LeBron. You say he was old. He got scored 40. Then you complaining that fans and media make you the villain. I promise you, bro. I promise you, Dylan. Dilly Pickles. The reason why people think you the villain is the way you act, the way you talk. You think you're big and bad. Oh, they referee me different way. No, they referee you based on how you act, man. You're always trying to start shit. And then what happened? LeBron finished it. And he finished you. Because you're going to be in Houston or some sorry ass team like Orlando for money. Because, let me just be honest, Memphis don't want you. Especially for $20 million per year. Why the fuck am I paying you $20 million a year and your stupid self can't shoot? Huh? That'd be a waste of my goddamn money if I do that dumb shit. Could you imagine paying paying a fucking dude who can't shoot $20 million? What the hell is that?
There's no way.
Motherfucker, I'm not gonna have Timothy Mozgov on my team. God damn.
I wish I would pay you 20 M's for somebody that can't shoot in the league.
Can't shoot for shit, man. But what's the next series we could talk about here?
Let's get an easy one. Let's get Philadelphia and Brooklyn.
Oh well, that was fucking that was a snooze fest. Like the whole entire game was like double team Joel Embiid and pray to God that everybody else misses shots. And, that shit didn't work. Even when Joel Embiid went out, they still couldn't beat him because Tobias Harris and Maxey and Harden was cooking. Like that series was such a simple series because it was basically like Joel Embiid, let's just double team his big ass and hope somebody else does something. And shit didn't happen. I don't know. Brooklyn needs a lot of help. That's all we know. We know they need all kinds of help.
They need a whole rebuild shit.
Yeah, man. Like you can keep Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, but like all I know is how are they going to get any better? See, in basketball, the only way you can get any better is either you find a way to trade or they sign you for big money or in the draft. And because they won't be bad enough to get a high draft pick, so I don't know what they're going to be. Honestly. But you're right. That was I mean, was it a snooze fest? It was a pretty boring series strictly because you knew what they're doing. It's not like other series where you gotta do it the pick and roll and the roller and flare screens and all types of different screens and shit, quick flexes. Nah, you're just dealing with the team double teaming the fucking MVP and then praying to God that like James Harden bricks or Tobias Harris bricks. That shit didn't happen. Now, now let me tell you something. The person who should have come to help was the dude off PJ Tucker because that nigga trash. He can't make no threes, man. Damn.
All he do is just sit in the corner and just pray to God he makes
bricking, man. That's all he do. Like he's a really good defender, but damn, he like Dylan Brooks, except we don't talk too damn much, right? But he like Dylan Brooks, man. He sits in that fucking corner, Brick City. I'm like, is there? Why are you like? Aren't you supposed to be the corner king? Like he remember he used to make he had the he made the most corner threes in the league in Houston, and ever since he left Houston, he can't make shit. I'm like, what the hell? What the heck?
So now
But
he's in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, where you're eating them cheesesteaks and he can't
yo,
make shit.
he can't make nothing. Um, it's not much of that series. It was
No,
just
yeah,
Tobias Harris. Yeah, I mean
they're
Tobias
really
Harris. He finished off in Game 4, but like you said, the series was pretty simple. You know, one team wanted double team one guy, and it didn't work. So there you go. I don't know. That's it for me. Nothing much.
I mean, same for me. I mean, that was easy. I mean, Brooklyn was just like it was like Brooklyn is just like a bunch of naked women trying to find that one guy trying to get him some bread. Literally couldn't find anything. So what happened? They just sat there in the cold. They just sat there. They just sat there like a bunch of icicles just like doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean they because of their lack of talent, they don't have.
It's because of two people. Two people was the reason why they got 4-0.
Yeah, I mean their plan worked. It's just they just didn't score enough points. They just didn't. Like they went, what was it? They played like Patty Mills a game. They played a couple other. It was pretty much they would have had to like run their starters into the ground to win any one of those games because anytime them guys went out, it was hard. But yeah. What was the next series?
Mm. Oh yeah, Milwaukee and Miami.
Oh, so you heard about Giannis's failure comments, huh?
Oh yeah, I watched that. So what I have
Now,
to say about that is he is right because the first 7 years in the league, from 2013 to 2020, he didn't win anything. He got All Stars, he got MVPs, DPOYs, All NBAs, but he never won the big one. Now, yeah, you can say it's a failure, but that time he didn't really have the team until you know like 5 years into his career, he started having like good people on his squad. That's when he had like chances and chances and chances until he finally got it done against Phoenix in six that year. So the same thing goes for like Michael Jordan before Scottie Pippen. He couldn't make out the first one out Scottie Pippen. Was he? Were those years failures? You could say yeah, but really, is it really not because those are like what he said. Everything he said made sense. It's steps. You have to go through these to be as great as you are. And Michael Jordan went through those first round trials and tribulations before he finally got some help. And now look at him, 6-0 in the finals. He had to fail to be perfect because everybody in life you do not get to where you are without failing. You just don't. It's like the same thing with me in school. I'm not my GPA wasn't how it was when I first started. I had to go through the trials and tribulations of failing, and then now look at me. Mine's is almost up there, and they asked me honest the same question last year. I didn't even know that, but it's probably because he got 4-1. Now, how he got 4-3, different story. But he got 4-1, and they asked him the same question. I would understand his frustration, but I mean, I understand where he's coming from with the failure thing. Like he never really failed. It just wasn't his series. I mean, like I said, you could say it's failure, but he just wasn't on his game, even though he scored like 38 the last game. So, uh, So that's really that's my opinion on the failure comments. It's probably because like they just targeted him and just wanted the reaction. That's why it said failure. When you hear something like that, it triggers you, and that definitely triggered him.
For me, I get what he means. Now, this year was a failure because, as Shaq said, it's expectation. The expectation is that you're a 50 win team, you're the number one team in the league. I mean, you're the number one overall seed. If we were in a tournament, you're the number one overall seed. And what? Miami was probably the 15th, 16th overall seed, you would say, if this was a 16-team thing. You had two All Stars. You had a career year, and now he did get hurt. Okay, and the reason why I would not call him now, I would agree it's not a failure because number one, he didn't play all four games. Like he did not. He missed two of them. They won one. They lost one. They lost two of them with him playing full. Now, other people would call it failure, and I get it because of the thing. But it's just hard for me to say it's a failure because, again, he didn't play all the games. And,
That that's what
like,
that's what I was also about. That's what I also wanted to piggyback off that a little bit. Yeah, he didn't play all the games, so did he really fail? No, his team failed him. Really,
yeah, man, they could number one, they couldn't do shit with Jimmy, but man, Jimmy Butler fucked the shit out of them. I mean, god damn. Man,
he dropped
he
an
was just
80 piece on
fucking
their
Drew
head.
Holiday, dude. He was just fucking the shit out of Drew Holiday. He was saying I own you. He was doing all types of shit to Drew Holiday.
He was saying, "I run this s
I run this
everything,"
shit, all
cussing up
types
a
of things.
storm in your own set. He
He
came
said,
into your
I
set
mean,
and started saying, "I'm
I'm
gonna run this yard now."
I'm sorry, man, but I've never seen Drew Holiday get destroyed like I watch him get destroyed. Like that, like you just watch like they talked about God as Michael Jordan. That was God as Jimmy Butler, or the basketball gods as Jimmy Butler. Because he was hitting everything in these last two games. Everything. Any shot. But no, I mean he's not a failure. He didn't play all the games. I mean, if he plays all the games healthy, no injuries, it could have been a different thing. I will say, am I surprised Miami beat them? No, because Miami beat this team the year after, the year before they won. They beat them in the bubble like 4-1-2. So it's not against the realm of possibility. Um, but I get what he means. It's steps to success, and the first step is, do you fire the coach? Second step is, are you able to resign Chris Middleton, or are you going to not? Now, if they don't resign Chris Middleton, I don't know how they're going to win next year because Drew Holiday and Giannis ain't enough. I can tell you that now.
Oh
Jay
no, they
Crowder,
nowhere near enough. No, no,
yeah,
no.
Jay Crowder. I don't know if he's washed or not, but they never played him. Tells me something. They played Joe Ingles. They didn't play him. Um, so was it really worth it? Him doing all that pouting in Phoenix? No, because you barely got to play either way, bro. You pouted, didn't do shit. Like maybe you should, you know, think about retirement. Number four, this next step, I think, is also then step four is Giannis needs to improve his free throw shooting in general.
Oh my god.
You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. Like his free throw shooting 10 to 23, like that's how you lose. That's how you lose. You don't make enough free throws, you get fouled. Man, that shit was crazy. He when they did that, you saw the clip when they won the tip, he got the ball and he immediately threw it to like Chris
It's like,
Middleton.
I was like,
Because
what are
he
you
was so
doing?
scared. Like, what the fuck? You're the best player in the league. You just do that shit. You do that shit like it was a hot tamale. He said,
What are you doing?
like
You
he
are
threw that.
shit.
Chris was like, what the fuck? He just started like, man. And then Then they got the ball. I think Drew Holiday missed like one free throw, and then for some fucking reason they decided to not put Brooke Lopez. They put a bunch of small ass dudes. And Jimmy Butler, He weight roomed one of them. he weight roomed one of them and scored the basket. Like what is like? I was like, really? Yes, yeah, yo, bud, you're a dumbass. Number one, you let Drew Holiday get fucked in the ass for like all game long. Like, why didn't you put Giannis on him or something? Right? Like, if you were a coach yourself, wouldn't you have at least thought maybe I should put Giannis? Like, I know that like Drew wants to take him, but Drew, you're getting your shit kicked in, bro. Like, I gotta try something different. I gotta try something different. Like, I got to, man. Like you are getting horse fucked, dude. Like fucking
It's like he bent you over and you let him just rail
he
you.
really he really did though. He really did bend him over because Drew Holiday couldn't do anything. Anything. And Bud didn't and number two, Bud didn't take a timeout with 0.5 seconds to fourth. He didn't take a timeout in overtime. He like there's a reason why his job is in question right now. Now I don't know. Now I don't know if they're now if you want to get Nick Nurse and fire Budenholzer, I mean that could be cool. But if you're not gonna get Nick Nurse, then I don't know if I would fire him like that, right? But man, it's
I
crazy.
mean, I think Nick Nurse tired of Toronto. He tired of that
Yeah,
cold.
he fucking left already. Yeah, he fucking left,
Oh,
right?
he left. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gone. He they were gonna let him go, or he wanted to be let go, but he's gone. He already left. He's a free agent now. So
This dude Giannis was 23 free throws and missed 13 of them. 10 of
how are
23.
you? How are you
Lord,
about? How are you?
oh
But you
my
see,
god.
this is a bigger symptom of him being unable to shoot the ball. Now, I was listening to a little clip from this podcast where they were talking about a little bit of Giannis, and he said he doesn't really care about the jump shot, and I understand why he may not
What?
care much about it.
What? He don't
Because
care.
but he what happened?
He don't care about the bro.
He
No way.
said that he cares more about him having a float like a hook shot or a hook or something, which I agree. Like Giannis really doesn't have anything. He really is. I mean, it's the meme where James Harden says, "I wish I was 7 feet tall and could just run and dunk." Like that fucking meme. I could just run, jump, and dunk. Like I actually have to have skill, like because he was like he was just so mad about Giannis at the time. He's like, oh yeah, like I actually have to have skill. I wish I can just be fucking 7 feet tall, just run and jump and dunk on niggas left and right. Like I wish I could do that, but I can't. Like Giannis needs to get more skilled. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like how and remember 2 years ago in the finals, right? His
Yeah.
free throw shows the reason why they won. He was able to make free throws.
Oh
The
yeah,
dude can't make
he was
free throws
hitting.
again.
Bro, he was hitting that game. Those games.
Yeah. That's no, that series in general, he was making free throws at a regular rate.
No,
And
that's what
now
I'm saying. Those games, he was hitting those.
yeah. Now he right back to being trash. Damn. How times have changed. Um Now a little bit by Miami. I mean, number one, it's Jimmy Butler. Number two, they had good outside shooting. I think they're like 50% or something. Like they have the best offense in the playoffs. After that, like they were like 50% from three, like 60% from like the field. That's something crazy. Number one, because Jimmy Butler was taking like half their shots in the first place, anyways. And number two, Max Struz, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson were making their threes off coming off screens and coming off dribble handoffs, all that shit. So they're really good. But this series is all about Giannis and his inability to
I'm
fucking
looking at
hit.
his I'm looking at
Outside.
his finals games, bro. He had like 5, 6, 4, 4, 7, and like 2 misses. He didn't he missed, but it wasn't
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Ain't no fucking 13 misses. Ain't
13
no,
misses in one game.
yeah, man. Like that's a lot, and I really do understand. I don't think it's. I just agree. At first I thought it was a failure. When you think about it in the circumstances, it's not really a failure. But I have no problem for people who just say it is a failure strictly based on the team in general. But hey, to each their own. Um, they'll be back next year. I just wonder if they're going to have Middleton. If they don't have Middleton, I don't think they can win. I don't think they can win. That's one thing I'll say. Like Holiday, like somebody else would have to step up. Like Grace Allen is his dirty ass self won't do shit. So I don't know who's
He's gonna be thinking of new ways to hurt somebody next year to be dirty.
yeah.
Watch.
At the end of the game, he's the one who got like the final shot, and the dumbass didn't just shoot the ball already. He tried to do a Euro step like an idiot. He tried to do it, and I was like, what are you doing the Euro step? Like you got like 2 seconds left, man. Just pull up already. I would have loved if I was Miami, I would have loved to get off, just stay on everybody and let you on the shoot because that nigga's scared. That man's scared. But yeah, man, that's it for that series. I don't think there's really that much. I just thought Miami did what you're supposed to do. Build the wall.
It was a funny series though. It was a funny series with the shit.
Oh yeah, like Giannis had that's how good Giannis is. He had 38 points, and we think that was a bad game. 38 points, 20 rebounds. But that doesn't matter when you miss a lot of free throws. But also, how could they not put it was like 2 seconds left. How could you not put Brook Lopez to protect the rim at least? Like I understand they had like 5 smalls, but you have like 4 of them are covered, and Brook Lopez. You're telling me Brook Lopez can't deal with like the one closest to the rim? I don't know, man. That was weird. I still think that was a dumb thing to do, though. Like I get what he was talking about. Like you're trying to match your personnel. Sometimes you dumbasses match personnel to match personnel, and it just kills you. It just kills you. If there was a Brook Lopez, I promise you that Brook Lopez would not have been pushed. So, yeah. So what's the next one?
Oh yeah. ATO versus Boston.
No. Oh, Atlanta. Probably the easiest. Probably.
It's supposed to be the easiest, but Celtics were bullshitting around and beat them in 6. They should beat them in 5, but
yeah. I mean, they really should have, but I mean, game winner by Trae Young for Game 5. I mean, there ain't nothing you could do about that. They did have a couple blunders at that, but at the end of Game 5, they had a couple blunders, questionable decisions, fouls. Game 6 was close, and then Tatum and Brown, that law firm, turned it on and put them to sleep real quick with a couple jumpers, big time threes. Atlanta unable to get a clean shot. And at the end of the game, Atlanta literally couldn't inbound the ball. They had to throw it off the dude 3 times. And then when they did inbound the ball, what happened? The ball literally went out of bounds. So that was anticlimactic, per se. Atlanta.
I didn't even see the game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see not one game.
I watched decent amount of both games, but like when those games were on, there were like more important games on. It's hard. Like
that's what happened.
That's what happened. 2 or 3 TVs, man. Like it's hard. You have to prioritize what games are on. And usually when they played, it was either Golden State and Sacramento, or maybe the Suns and Clippers, which I think was the second most interesting series that didn't go 6 games, because I believe only the Hawks and the Celtics and the Warriors, Hawks, and Lakers series all went 6. But I think the Warriors series is the most entertaining first, and then second was the Clippers. Just because. Okay.
Yeah,
just
I was
because.
playing by far the most entertaining series, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. The Clipper series was very very fun. Um,
So yeah,
but
fun to watch them get the ass beat in five
I mean,
with no
yeah,
help.
but they didn't. But you gotta be honest, like there's nothing much. I mean, the Hawks series, the Hawks, they do what they do. We'll just move on. Start talking about Clippers. I don't know. The Hawks series wasn't that interesting personally. They were
No,
never. But like, I don't think the Clippers they got their ass beat because when you to get your ass like to get your ass beat is like you lost like every game you lost by a pretty hefty margin. But a lot of people are going to keep saying, man, if they had one or two of both of them, a lot of people are going to say 7 game series because Russell Westbrook and Norman Powell were able to keep them from getting blown out. And there was a couple of last 2 games they could have won those games or even tied them at one point late in the game if they make some shots. That Clippers, I said before, I said the Clippers are a good team this year. It's just unfortunate that injuries played a part. Um, Now, I do have a question. Do you think these 4 years of the Paul Leonard era has been a failure in totality since they've arrived in Los
oh yeah,
Angeles?
without a doubt, 100%. I mean, you go back in the play. I remember the play-in days. It was just against Dallas, against the young Luca, just destroying them by himself. They couldn't even get past him in the Mavericks. And I think this is when Jalen Brunson was still on that team, and he wasn't the player he is now. He couldn't get past that team, and and everybody's supposed to be scared of a team that has 2 top players and that get injured a lot. I mean, if that doesn't scream failure, then I don't know what is. To be honest, that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard experiment is a failure, and he should have went to LA. He should have went to the Lakers. Has a better chance. At least over there, he has a chance to win. Over here in Clipper land, you don't. You don't. You try to. You see what happened when he tried it by himself. He stopped playing. He got injured. So I don't know what to tell him.
I mean, he would have brought the same issues he brought to the Lakers, he brought to his team, injuries and everything. And like he said himself, he doesn't really want to team up, and that's a okay. I also do
That's
agree that
respectable. That's respectable, but you got to think about it. You've been on this team for like 4 years and you haven't done anything. The
yeah.
Lakers have too, but the Lakers have leveled up. You
The
guys,
Lakers have
Clippers
done
leveled.
something. The Anthony Davis and LeBron James experiment worked. They got a championship. I don't know. I don't
Exactly.
know how many championships people thought they could get, but they got 2. And to me, they got 1. And that's fine. Um, Not everybody's going to get 2 or 3 titles. Like I never thought they did because number one, I don't think Rob Blink has built a very good team around them, anyways, in most of the years. So to get that one time in the bubble was really impressive. So I think that's worked. But this parent has been a failure. Yeah, you can go back. You can start talking again.
So and then Paul George, the guy that played most of the season, didn't really have any help. And as like I said, look what happened when Kawhi Leonard tried to, do what he does best, and that's play his heart out, and got injured. So I don't think he should retire because of all the injuries, but you got to think about it. You got to think for a second. Let me, instead of work my ass off because I injured myself so much, let me try and you know feel out who is available, what spot is available, what teams I want to see myself wear a jersey for. Because as you can see, look what happened in Toronto. Toronto didn't have like a crazy team, but they had a balanced team and they won against Golden State. And that was like Golden State's best, one of the Golden State's best teams of all time. You can't beat that team. You can't put a team better than that one. and then they come over to Clipperland and non-existent, getting bounced out of the playoffs. Can't even beat Dallas. Like I don't want to hear nothing about Clippers anything until they show me that they can make it far. Because that team, that 4 year experience with PG-13 and the Claw is a waste right now. It's a failure and a waste, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's been a failure. They haven't been able to play through the entire playoff series. They got to the conference finals 2 years ago. No Kawhi Leonard got hurt. They lost in six. There was another year where it was, I think it was literally like Paul George again against the Timberwolves last year. Didn't didn't make the playoffs. Lost in the play-in. It's been an abject failure. Outside of the only thing that they have done is be able to get a new owner there who's willing to put a bunch of money. Like those guys have been successful monetarily for the Clippers, but not on the basketball court because they haven't been able to stay on the court. So their team, who I think this year was primed ready for deep playoff run, got stifled in the first round because they didn't have enough talent. And even Phoenix themselves. The reason why they won that series is because they were able their starters, their talent was there. Like Phoenix as a team is really just two guys. Like it's really Booker and Durant. Chris Paul is kind of hit or miss. DeAndre Ayton gets like victimized by the way the team plays. He doesn't get the ball. He doesn't get the post.
Does he even demand the ball?
He doesn't. Yeah, see, true. He doesn't. He can't. You see, the problem why he can't demand the ball is because he's not very good. He's not good enough to demand the ball. That's another thing. Like if they had let's say Karl Towns as a somewhat same level player, maybe like they would give him the ball. But I always say in the back of my head, they don't really think Aiden's got that big of an offensive game. Like all his scoring is off specific plays where he's able to post. He's able to post the guy he's going up against, like seal him, and then maybe he'll score, but not off like actual plays. Um, what else? Um, yeah, I mean, Phoenix. I think they have beaten Phoenix if they had their two guys. Couldn't. Phoenix, Devin Booker was amazing that series. 60. I mean, the man shot 60% from the field over 5 games. I mean, that's insane. Like 40-something%. Like he was crazy. But they're gonna have a tough time playing against Denver. But I mean, I thought that series was pretty much Russell Westbrook showcase why he may be on that team next year because you have to admit he did play well for the series in a couple games. Norman Powell, man. I mean, he's the best 6 man in the league now. He was Lou Williams for a couple years. It's maybe Brogdon, but it's him. I mean, I mean, to get 42 points off the bench like that is insanity. It is really, really impressive. So gotta give props to my guy Norman Powell, excuse me. But yeah, that's it. I thought that was really the series. Clippers couldn't stop anybody, and they didn't have enough offensive scoring compared to the Suns.
Who is? Oh yeah, New York and Cleveland. Yes.
Woo, man. Cleveland versus New York. That series, I mean, Donovan Mitchell failed. I don't know. I mean, like the man failed to lead this team, and also Darius Garland failed playing good basketball. He wasn't very good this year.
He was horrible. He
was horrible.
absolute dog water.
Really. They need another guy. That's what they do. When I run through their team, in my head the players. Like Isaac Okoro is kind of like Dylan Brooks. He's not a very good offensive player and he can't make threes. Like that, like they're a team who would need like a Jay Crowder. Like he can make a three. He's like somewhat of a like threat on the offensive end. Like Isaac Okoro is no threat. He's a cutter, and that's really it. I mean, he really shouldn't be dribbling and driving because he can't shoot. And even if and when he does, it doesn't look pretty. And so Cleveland needs another bona fide 15 per game score. Like they need like Norman Powell would help, but I'm trying to look at their starting lineup, and it's like, man, yeah, they need a 3-and-D guy who can shoot. New York, I'm gonna be honest, Julius Randle is a what I would say. His numbers in the regular season are really the epitome of like why the playoffs are so different. Like he goes like 10 points under his average. His efficiency drops like a rock. He's like 40% to like 50 something in the regular season. He's hurt now. I mean, it really is the Jalen Brunson show, and maybe a couple guys making some threes and some timely drives. Like that's really what the team is. And in this series against Miami, Jalen Brunson is not better than Jimmy Butler. And that's what I'm talking about. Jimmy Butler has better help around him than what Brunson currently has. He's got Kevin Love, Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, uh, you know, Caleb Martin, like these Duncan Robinson, Highsmith. These guys are better auxiliary players than what New York has. Like RJ Barrett, maybe you say he's a third best player, but like he's never been that consistent. Josh Hart is a good NBA player, but I don't trust Josh Hart to get me to the fucking promised land. Um, winning this series. So just for that series, but it didn't matter in the Cleveland series because in the Cleveland series, their defense was so good that in the half court, Cleveland really couldn't do much. Donovan Mitchell was seeing bodies left and right, and it's hard to play basketball when you're seeing bodies coming at you left and right and center. You have no space to work. Give credit to uh, Barrett. Give credit to Mitchell Robinson making it tough for the floater alerts, for the dunking, for the close range shots. I just thought they played a better team. Newark is just a better team. Even Evan Fournier is still on that team. Who comes off the bench now? He's still on that team. You got Josh Hart.
Yeah, that Knicks team is actually, something.
Yeah, yeah. Cavaliers. They had what's his face? Karis LeVert, but he didn't play very well. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just one team had better auxiliary players than the other team, and their star showed up, and Donovan Mitchell didn't. He failed at the Garden, and he failed at home again. So, and Darius Garland also failed. I mean, they both didn't show up, and you need both of them to win. So yeah, that's it for me in that series. How about yourself?
For me, it's like I like the New York team. They got, especially like Jalen Brunson, and I will say that Dallas is messed up by not giving him that money. They should have gave him that money when he asked for it, but no, they didn't even want to pay him $56 million for that. That would have been a finesse. And then that $56 million runs out. He plays well, then he gets that $100 million. But the point is, New York did what they supposed to do, and they played their game. And Cleveland was just going back to where they were, and that's trash. Because my God, the Donovan Mitchell not performed, and then Darius Garland. It all starts with the guys up top. If the guys up top cannot perform the way that they're supposed to perform on most games and times when they need to perform, then everybody else is trash. And that's what happened. Because they did not perform to the best of their abilities and because they did not play how they're supposed to play, they was not nobody was winning. Nobody was winning at all. So for me, it's that they gotta they gotta fix they gotta fix a little bit in their roster. I mean, I don't even know who is really. I know there are people on the team, but who's like really like somebody that's notable other than like Jared Allen and Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and like Evan Mobley. Like, I don't even know if Seti Osman is on that team. Like,
Yeah, say Osman's still on that team. Yes.
he's still on, bro. Jesus, I thought he was. I thought that man was gone. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because we don't ever. You don't ever see him. Also, you don't ever watch the games. Most of the games aren't even on TV like that. You have to actually watch them on League Pass. But yeah, he's still on that team. They're actually playing him towards the end of the game, but he was getting fucking cooked. But hey, it is whatever.
So, oh yeah, Denver and who is it? Minnesota.
Oh man, that series was crazy. Man, Anthony Edwards was cooking them dudes at the end, but he needs some help. He really like
Bro, he need life
Carson
support.
Towns, man. He's so hit and miss. Like he doesn't go to the paint and like get physical. He's a 3-point shooter. That's what he is. And it's kind of disappointing because you got a dog over there, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards needs a dog. Like Anthony Edwards, if he had like, would be a good big. Like if he had like Zion, like I'm like, oh, that's gonna be tough. Cause Zion get them buckets. Like Carly Towns is like he plays like he's a fucking guard, and I'm like, dude, that ain't gonna work. Like you're a big man, get your big ass in that paint. You're out here playing outside. You got Aaron Gordon on you, and you would. Aaron Gordon is easier to deal with if you're in the post, but he never does post. He only gets the ball to three, takes two big ass steps after he dribbles, and then hopes and prays he makes a shot. That's whenever I watch him, anyways.
What do I think about Denver and Phoenix? I mean, like you said, Karl Anthony Towns is like who is he talking about? He's like a bonus, but he will actually score.
Yeah, but at least Sabonis tries to get physical in the paint. That dude is so soft. He don't want to touch the paint. He just wants to shoot threes and jumpers. And that's like disgusting as a big man. Like how you that fucking big, and your dumbass wants to sit there and shoot fucking jumpers left and fucking right. What is that? Like you really gotta shoot only jumpers. Like you're telling me you can't get in the post, do some fadeaways, hook shots, shoulder him, boom boom. Like I don't know. I think he makes it hard for himself to score.
Yeah, he do. And it's like there's times where he needs to be in the post and he's out there on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's a lot too. He does that a lot. He really does. Like he goes out there and like doesn't really try to get in the posts, and I'm like, oh, like they really should have probably won 2-3 games. I think that series could have won 7. That's a 7-game series, but what? Why are we surprised? They did the same thing against Memphis last year. They had it, and then they fucked up. They fucked themselves over and lost in 6. So I guess I'm not too surprised that they went ahead and did something stupid again. Number one, they should have played Memphis anyways. They were up by 15 against the Lake Show, and then they fucked around and found out. So yeah, man. I mean, ain't much to them.
No, 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 other than like Anthony Edwards having that like 3 and 17 games, just was complete out of it. But other than that,
Yeah, it's nothing much. I mean, Anthony Edwards is going to be a great player, and he needs and Carthy Towns needs to get better. I need him to get in the post a little bit more. I still think the Rudy Gobert trade was stupid in general, and it proved itself again because they lost in five. They were in the play-in again, and they gave up all the picks. Is it really worth it? No. Just saying. And he punched the guy on your team. So good luck. But I think that's all of round one, huh?
yeah, I think that's really it.
All right, man. Well, can't wait for round two. It did start, yes. New York lost today, Miami. Nothing much to say there. Didn't watch it really, I'll be honest with you. But I will be watching tomorrow's games so that I have a better opinion on those games themselves. May do a little bit podcast for those, just to make sure we get videos up because we do need to get more videos up.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna. My goal is to do one tomorrow since I'm off.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's it because it's almost 12 o'clock.
So with that being said, this has been another episode of the APF podcast, episode 172. It is I, the most phenomenal man that has shocked the system, aka the coach, signing out.
And it's your boy going forward. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, please leave a like. Hit the description down below, that arrow, click it. All the links are there. We have fun making this. Um, we can't wait for tomorrow where some of the big boys show up. You got Celtics 76ers with no Joel Embiid, so that's gonna be interesting how the offense of Philadelphia is going to be when they play a team who's not going to play zone because they have like three or four guys who can actually defend. So, and are not scared, especially now with no Embiid. So that's going to be fun. And so, yeah, that's it.
I would yell, but it's like 11:40, so we out of here, bitch.